Apple Music named it the greatest album of all time. It resides in the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry, preserved for its cultural significance. To understand its weight, you have to look at the landscape of 1997. Hip-hop was reeling. The drive-by murders of Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. left a dark void in the culture, dominated by aggressive, hyper-masculine posturing. At the exact same time, mainstream pop was moving in the opposite direction. The charts were flooded with increasingly digitized, slick, and overproduced synthetic tracks. These two extremes created a massive cultural vacuum. The public was starved for vulnerability and raw human authenticity. The conditions were set for a musical shift. Lauryn Hill was already a global superstar, intricately tied to the massive multi-platinum success of her group, the Fugees. But behind the scenes, her world was fracturing. The band was dissolving amid bitter interpersonal tension. Her private life was under a suffocating media glare, and she was battling severe writer's block. The industry pressure peaked when she secretly became pregnant. Label voices actively encouraged her to terminate the pregnancy, fearing it would derail her commercial viability. She refused. Completely rejecting the demand to produce a safe pop follow-up, she began writing a concept album explicitly focused on educating oneself on love. It was an act of radical personal rebellion and emotional survival. To execute her vision, Hill cut ties with the toxicity and label oversight of the New York music scene. She relocated the recording sessions to Bob Marley's Tuff Gong Studios in Kingston, Jamaica. She intentionally surrounded herself with family and children to protect her energy and rediscover her own voice. Defying the 90s standard of digitized beats, she demanded live instrumentation. On her first day in the studio, she ordered harps, timpani, and clarinets to back her tracks. She explicitly instructed her engineers not to make the recordings technically flawless. By prioritizing human imperfection and emotional resonance over commercial slickness, she created a new production standard. Her sound shows three distinct musical pillars converging: classic soul, roots reggae, and contemporary hip-hop. Notice how rigid, percussive hip-hop spikes flow directly into smooth melody. She treated rapping like singing and singing like rapping, blurring the lines of vocal performance. She could match the lyrical dexterity of elite MCs on one track and deliver quiet storm R&B ballads on the next, maintaining authority in both spaces. This specific sonic architecture was entirely new. By fusing these elements, she created the blueprint for the modern neo-soul genre. Her lyrical choices were equally bold. On To Zion, she exhibited radical vulnerability, directly addressing the pressure she faced to abort her son,